Okay.
It's the 9th of December, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
9th of December. Wow. Okay.
Pearl
We're
Harbor
getting there.
days ago.
So, what is it that we have to understand about this Gemara? We have the Gemara has told us the Mishnah. The Mishnah says that an Eved Ivri, or Am Ivri for that matter, male or female, servant of the master, and he finds something, she finds something. The Mishnah tells us the din is it belongs to the Eved, belongs to the Amma. And the Gemara has an issue with that because the Gemara says we got a brisa that says fakert. The brisa says that generally speaking, unless the master says do some specific type of a job today, so then in that case it'll belong to the Eved. But otherwise, if he just gives him asaimi malacha stam hayom, unspecified work today, so then it says Metzia lebalabayis, belongs to the master. So that's direct contradiction to the Mishnah. So the Gemara gives three answers. And we're focused right now. We're not going to get caught up in the first two answers. We're going to try to just understand the third answer, because that's the answer that we're up to right now. So we want to leave enough time to do that today. So what is the answer itself? So Rav Papa says, Omar, Kagon Scharoi Lelaket Metzios. Here we got a case of a master that he hired this Eved to pick up, to gather lost items. And the Gemara asks, Hani Mili, what type of a case is this talking about? So the Gemara says we're talking about a case of the Akve Agma B'Kavare. Rashi explained us that it's talking about a case where there was a bunch of fish in the Nahar, a body of water, and there was some type of all the water. There was some type of a flood, and all the water flooded over the banks and got deposited on the banks, and together with the water that was deposited there was the fish. So so now you got all these fish over there, and the Gemara says that this is a case where the master, he told him to go and get the fish. So Rashi doesn't tell us too much more than that. So we need to understand how does this answer the contradiction that the Gemara raised between the Brisa and the Mishnah. So not too much help from Rashi. I don't see any. So we have to turn to other sources to try to figure out what exactly is Rav Papa's answer over here. Now, Tosfos has something to say over here. So I'll read. Lou, you want to read Tosfos?
Okay.
You want to know which Tosfos you got to read, I guess.
That would help.
So it's Tosfos Dibur Maskil Shesacharo Lalaket Mitzios.
Lalaket Mitzios.
It's the fourth one from the bottom.
Okay, so it means he hired him to collect lost objects.
Yeah.
What does Hay pay?
What's Hay pay? You see, you got a base over there by the hey pay.
Yes.
I'm just hoping that that'll help us something because my guess is that it should be inverted. It should be pay hey, which would be Pirish Hakuntris, which would be he's quoting Rashi. But
This is on the Hanaot Hanara. It says Sham Dibur Hamaskil She Sachru Vehe Pei Kule.
what you reading from?
I'm reading from the commentary where it has the bet. The Hanahos Hagra.
Yeah, Hagosagra, right? Yeah.
Hagos Hagra. So it says under the bet, it says Sham Dibur Hamaskil Shesachro Vehe Pei Kule.
Right.
So it says the Hey Pei is part of the Dibur Hamaskil, which it's not. So does that mean that we have to change the Dibur Hamaskil?
Yeah, but that's not his main point, I see.
Here we have a bet. I don't know what nun bet means.
Yeah, Nun Beit Nekta Betzido. The Groa has written on the side of his Gemora over here. The Harama Meforish, a different commentator. The Rama Meforish, he explains Shesacharoi Stam. He hired him Stam for unspecified. Stam means an unspecified labor. Omara lalakit lo mitzias, and he showed him, I guess, in a like with some type of a hand motion, to go and collect lost items. Mar lalakit lo mitzias. Okay, so fine. So that doesn't help. That doesn't help me too much. I'm not sure exactly what they're getting at. What's the difference between? Maybe you could figure it out. What the Gra is bringing? He's bringing another commentary, the Ramah. The Ramah explains that what it means over here is that the master didn't tell him in words to go and pick up the lost items, but he just hired him for unspecified labor, and he showed him. He got some way of showing him how what he wants him to do without the direct speech of to gather things that are scattered on the ground, I guess. So I'm not sure exactly what the difference would be between saying it out in words explicitly or showing him in like with hand motion. So I don't find this I don't understand it. I'll just put it. I don't see it. What the point of that is. So in any case, maybe we'll just go on with the words of the Tosos now.
Okay, so the Brisa, what is Dalad Hay?
With what are we dealing with?
In the Brisa, what are we dealing with? Bisman she'amar lei asa ami ba'oso inyan
Ase imi.
Ase. So he said to him, Ase imi, make for me.
Yeah, do with me.
Do with me this thing.
But also inyan shuhu.
Who kamo nichash. And it's like a nichash. What's a nichash?
That was what the Brisa said. The Brisa said, "Nachesh imi hayom." Do a weeding for me today. So he
So,
specified to him a specific type of malacha that he wants him to do that day.
so it's like he said, do weeding for me today.
Okay, Pirusha, but the price, but the nevo, is mancha amalei asi.
He said to him, Asa imi malacha, do for me work. Shall mitzios of lost objects.
But if he said to him, asi imi malacha shall mitzios. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay, Tosis is getting at something over here. We got to figure out what he's getting at. He seems to be providing a bit of a twist on the way that we need to understand the Brisa. The way we understand the Brisa right now, we got a kasha. And the way Tosis wants us to explain the Brisa, this seems to be the way that we're going to understand it according to the answer of Rav Papa. So we got a resolution. We got a resolution of the answer, but it's still needs a little bit of head breaking. What exactly? I'll just translate the words for you. Maybe you could figure it out. I don't see the solution right away. So let's just go over the Tosfos again. Hachi Perusha. This is the explanation of what Rav Papa is coming to tell us. When he said that the master told the Eved, when the master hired the Eved in order to collect lost items. What does that mean? So we're explaining the Brisa as follows. It says in the Brisa, when do we say, meaning when do we say that the din is that the Eved, when he finds something, he will be able to keep it for himself. When do we say that? We say that bisman she'amar le ase ime ba'oso inyan shehu kamo nichesh ime hayom. If he tells them something which is do with me in that very matter that he also inyan shehu, such as nachesh imi, weed with me, hayom. That's when we say if the Eved finds something, he can keep it for himself. Aval, but if he says to him, ase imi malacha shel mitzios, if he tells him, do with me the malacha of mitzios, of lost items, chule. No further elaboration in the Brisa, but I'm assuming that what that means is in that case we will say that it'll belong to the Balabais. Okay, so basically I don't have really too much of an explanation at all of what Tosis is getting at. Not from the beginning, not from the middle, not from the end of it. Wow, it's a mystery. Quite a mystery. Okay. So okay, I see. Not to mention that it's not like Rashi. Okay, so let's just see, I have some things written in my Gemora over here. You probably have some things written in your Gemora also from the art scroll. Let's just read it. What does the art scroll say about this? What's the explanation? What is Rav Papa telling us? What's Rav Papa telling us?
6. Unlike the first two answers, Rav Papa's answer qualifies the case of the Brisa concerning the worker, rather than the case of our Mishnah concerning the servant. The Rav Papa's answer is more to do with the
That's all they say?
no, it says more. According to Rav Papa, a worker may keep his fine even when he was hired to perform all manner of work for his employer. What the Brisa means by work for me today, quote and unquote, is, quote, work for me today at the task of collecting fines. Accordingly, the Brisa is to be interpreted as follows. A worker's fine belongs to him. When is this ruling said? When the employer says to him, weed for me today, or dig for me today. That is, he was hired for the job other than the specific task of collecting fines. But if the employer said to him, work for me today at the task of collecting fines, his fines belong to the employer. See Tosafos. Accordingly, a Hebrew servant who is not employed specifically to collect fish may keep his fine for himself, as our Mishnah rules.
A worker that was told not specifically to collect fish, he'll be the one that'll keep his fine.
Mm-hmm. If the employer specified what he was to collect, apparently, then that belongs to the employer. But it was just a general instruction. The employer apparently doesn't keep it.
But that's the opposite of what our Brisa says. That's what I have trouble with. If you read the Brisa says the B'medivum Amurim. What's the case that we're dealing with, where we say that the Metzia that the poel finds belongs to himself? That's when the master told him to do a specific type of work. Weed for me, dig for me. Then if he finds something, he could keep it for himself, the poel. But if he tells him, Asi imi malacha hayom, if he just tells him, I want you to work for me today, so then whatever he finds belongs to the balabais. So according to the Brisa, if the terms of the job that the worker's got to do are a specific type of work, so then he could keep the fine. But if the terms of the work that were specified to do are not specified any specific type of work to do, so then they belong to the balabais. That's what the Brisa says in our Gemora. So Tosa seems to be turning around the words of the Brisa.
Mm-hmm.
He says the Brisa says that he told him to do Asi imi ba'osa inyan shehu kamo inyan shehu kamo nachesh imi hayom. What
if I ask a question that doesn't say what you want to collect, but gives the reason? For example, I want whatever you find. I want to feed the fish to the poor people, for example. He doesn't say collect the fish. He says I want to use it for something.
Well, didn't he tell him? Tosa says, Aval Omerle Asi imi malach shel mitzios. If he tells him, do with me today the malacha of Metzias.
Mm-hmm.
So then the halacha is that it belongs to the balabais.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to specify.
Is that what Tosus means? What I don't understand the difference between weed for me today and do with me the malacha of finding things. Isn't that specific? He's telling him that he wants him to do today uh, uh, malacha of finding things. Why is that any different than telling him that he wants him to weed or he wants him to dig? What's the difference? It's also, in other words, that's also a specific task that he's telling him to do.
Well, one of them, he says what he wants to do. He wants him to find something, and the balabais will keep it. And the other one, he just says to find something. He doesn't say what to do with it. One of them implies to find it and hand it over. The other implies find it, full stop. Then you can do what you like with it. Give it to me or keep it yourself.
Well, that's your question. You want to know if that would be the same din. I don't see any difference in if he tells him I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not following this Gemora here. I'm not following this Gemora here. I'm not sure what it's getting at.
Do you have anything else at the back of your?
Yeah, there's something else over here. Safanar al Gido. So this seems to be looks like okay. That's okay. We're not. Yeah. Okay. This seems to be the Tosus Rush. Safa Nahar al Gidosa the imo olu adagim. The same general case that Rashi described. Ukashachaza hanahar la'acharav nisharu adagim ala karka, just like Rashi described. When the water recedes, so then the fish are still left there on the bank. They didn't go anywhere. Uscharoi balabayis lelakidotam, and the balabayis hires this Evid to pick up to gather the fish on the bank. The imotz dagim o afilu Metzia acheres. If he finds fish, or even if he finds some other type of a thing that got presumably got splashed up onto the shore. Eino yochol liton Metzia shali metzasi. He's not able to say that, oh, that's my thing that belongs to me that I found over there. Why is he not allowed to say that? Kilakach niskar limso mitzios, umitziosov the balabais, because that's exactly what he was hired to do. The balabais said, "Go over there and find for me mitzios." So the issue is what happens. In other words, what really is splashed up on there? 95% or whatever is the fish, but maybe there's something else over there. Maybe it was splashed over there some gold coins as well, and he finds those gold coins. So now, what's going to be the din on the gold coins? That's the issue. So do we say that the guy can say, "Look, you just hired me to this is my find. This is my private find that I happened to find in the course of doing the work, and so that belongs to me. I wasn't hired to find gold coins. And no, we say that we say over here that he told him to lelakate mitzios, to go pick up things that are lost. He didn't tell him specifically fish. So therefore, in that case, that case would be that's the case that the Brisa is talking about. That it would belong to the balabais. In other words, what are you doing? In other words, what are you doing? Tosfos is saying that the second half of the Mishnah is talking about an unspecified demand, an instruction to do malacha that regards lost items. But what exactly? So that'll include any type of a lost item, not only the fish, which is the real reason why he told them to go over and get pick up lost items. That's the real reason, because that's what the basically splashed up onto the thing over there. But even if he's going to find anything else, so even if he's going to find 2 gold coins, it's also splashed up over there, which nobody was expecting that. He can't say, "Oh, you didn't tell me to go find gold coins. This is my own find." No, he told him to go. He says, "I told you to get. I told you to do malacha today of finding things." So therefore, it belongs to the balabayas. That's what it says in the Brisa. So now, what's the difference between that and the Mishnah? The Mishnah says, what's the din? That if he the Mishnah says that the Metzia of the Eved belongs to the Eved. So what is that case in the Mishnah talking about? So according to what we have said just now, we're talking about where the Mishnah Seinu Osekes bestam Eved v'shivcha shelo niskru beferish lemeleches likut mitzias ulechein mitziatam la'atzmam. The Mishnah is talking about a case where the workers, the Eved, they was hired a stam, completely stam, meaning not even they were not hired to even engage in gathering lost items. They were just hired for non-specific jobs to do malacha. So in such a case like that they were hired to do malacha. So in that case, if they find something on the way that they was doing their malacha, who's it going to belong to? That's what the Mishnah is talking about. The Mishnah says it's going to belong to the Eved. Okay, so that's one way to explain Rav Papa. Quite a creative way of explaining Rav Papa. Wow.
Why was it that could it have been the other way around, that the Mishnah was the Bryce and the Bryce was the Mishnah?
Well, the point is that you got to explain it in some way that the Mishnah says that the lost item belongs to the Eved, while in the Brisa,
No, I see. All right.
the Brisa says that it belongs to the Balabais. If he just told him to do malacha.
But ask him to just to find anything is specific. It's a specific job.
One second. I'm getting mixed up myself. Yeah, this is very confusing over here. In other words, according to the way this parish, this is coming from the Tosus Harush. This is coming from the Tosus Rush. Okay. In any case, the point is that we're learning in the Brisa that when the Brisa said Ase imi malacha, he didn't say Ase imi malacha stam, like it says in the Brisa. They're changing around the words of the Brisa a little bit to mean that the Brisa said Ase imi malacha shel Metzias. That was really Tosus' invention already in the Tosus. That he's changing a little bit the words of the Brisa. If he says Metzias, Malach Hashem Metzias, so then any Metzia that he finds is going to belong to the Baal Bayis. He can't say that that what I found was what I found for myself. I didn't find it for you. Baal Bayis says, what do you mean? I told you to go and find things. So anything that you find, that's what your job was, and that's what I'm paying you for, and accordingly it belongs to me. Whereas that's what the Brisa says. But in the Mishnah was not talking like that. The Mishnah was talking that he told him to do malacha, unspecified malacha. So according to this, if he finds something in the course of his the malacha that he's doing, that's not included in what he was, and that's not included in what the Baal Bayis was paying him to do. So therefore, he's working for himself on that score. He finds something, the Eved, it belongs to him. That's what it says in the Mishnah.
I don't know. Is there any clarification further on?
So that's the way the Tosus explains.
Mm-hmm.
Now, according to this, what the Gemora brought from this other parish, the Ramah, what's the difference between what the Gemora was bringing and the Tosus? The Gemora brought the Shitas Ramah, so he explains. He explains a little bit differently. She'im amarlo nachesh imi hayom o ador imi hayom v'holicho achar kein lalaked lo mitzias. If he told him originally, I want you to work for me today doing weeding, doing digging, but then afterwards, he brings him to go do something else, such as finding lost items. Ozadin shemitzias hapoel la'atzmo kamo be'eved v'shivcha ha'omrim b'mishnah shemitziutam la'atzmo. Then the fine will belong to the Eved. 1 second. Maybe it doesn't mean that the master instructed him to do that. It means that he, on his own accord, did it, I suppose. Aval, im amarloi, if he told him, ase imi malacha, velo pirish lo, ve'eze malacha, if he told him to just do malacha, and he didn't specify what type of malacha that he should do, v'holicho lelaket mitzias, and he goes and he collects mitzias, zadin shemitzias hapoel lebal bayis. No, I think it's right the first time I said it. The first way I said it. That's the language also. If he originally told him just didn't specify a specific type of work to do, and then afterwards, holicho lelaket metzias, he directed him to go and do finding lost items. So then the din would be that the lost items that the poel finds will belong to the balabais. That's what he directed him to do, even though he didn't originally hire him for that purpose. He just hired him to do malacha. He didn't specify what type of malacha, but now he's telling him. Now he's directing him over there. That would seem to be clear that it will belong to the balabais. But if he did specify to him originally, I want you to do malacha X, I want you to do malacha Y today for me, and then even if he changes, but then he afterwards brings him over to collect for him lost items. Wow, that's quite a chiddush. Why should that be? He says in that case, what the worker will find will be like the case of the Eved and the Shivcha that we say in the Mishnah, that it'll belong to the worker.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they ask on this parish, Hukshalov, that it's there's those that question this explanation. His words don't seem to make too much sense. Yeah, they have the same question that I had. Why should the Metzias belong to the worker? Even though the boss didn't tell him originally that that's what he was going to do, he told him that he was going to do other type of work, specifically malacha X or Y. But now he's telling him, I want you to find Metzias. And he directed him to go and do that. So if he goes and does that, obviously why should what he finds belong to himself? He's working for the balabais. Why does it depend on what he originally told him to do? Doesn't make any sense. Imlo heskim ledvorov shel balabais. Lelaket metzias, gam im scharoi bestam, ein shayeches metziuto lebalabais, kevin shelo hiskim letanov. Only in the case where the worker didn't agree to the terms of the employment of what he told him to do in the middle. So therefore, in that case, if he hired him a stam, So then what he finds doesn't have any connection to the balabais, because he didn't ever agree to the condition of the change in the terms of the employment. Okay, that's a different matter. But if he agreed to go and do the balabai says, I don't want you to do malacha X and Y like I told you this morning. Now I want you to do something else. I want you to go find Metzias. Because maybe he just heard about the fact that the river overflowed, and now they've got all these fish over there. There's a good business over there to go pick up free fish over there. Although Lou pointed out yesterday, why are we calling this a metzia? Why are we calling it a lost item? But I'm thinking right now, maybe the reason we're calling it a lost item is simply because it's going to have the same din as a lost item. It's a hefker item. Just like a lost item is a hefker item, it's there for the taking. Somebody wants to take it. So to these fish that come up on the river,
I don't think the fish can be
not lost,
but
they're hefker. You could take them.
I don't think it can be called a lost item because to be lost, it has to be owned by somebody.
Yeah,
Fish
right. So that
wasn't
was
owned by somebody, so it's not a lost item.
okay, but yeah, right. That was Lou's question yesterday, and I hear that as a question.
Mm.
But I'm just saying halachically,
Uh-huh.
even
Okay.
if you don't say technically speaking that it's a lost item, but in halacha it's going to have the same din, whether it's lost. Because what's the whole idea of a lost item? To pick up lost items, what's the whole idea of that? It's the idea is to pick up something which is hefker, which you could pick up and you could own it.
Mm-hmm.
So so too, these fish they're not really lost items. Nobody lost them. They don't belong to anybody. But the point is that it's something that can be picked up and you could make a kinyan on it. It doesn't belong to anybody. That's the point. So I think that might be the answer to your question. You have a question.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's not really, technically speaking, it's not really a lost item that we're talking about over there. But
Okay.
but maybe we could answer in the following way.
All right. I have to
Okay,
say thank you because I've got mincha coming up.
mincha.
We have
Okay.
mincha at 1 o'clock.
Oh, very good.
So I'll be
Where to
able
go to
to,
mincha?
what?
Where's mincha?
Cross the road in the caravan shul.
Oh, in the caravan shul. Okay,
Mm.
very good.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, they're building the new building.
Yeah, they've sort of finished most of it. They've just got they've got the sort of the outside effects and things, the decoration on the walls and whatever, what the mark, but I don't know what they're going to have.
Uh-huh.
They're not doing exactly what they wanted to do, I think, because they didn't get quite enough money. But we've Dovened in there, uh,
Uh-huh.
but it's not sort of fitted out yet inside. It's more like a couple of halls or barns or something.
Like a building site inside. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the norm here in Eretz Yisrael when it
yeah.
comes to
Right.
comes to
Yeah.
building a shul. Yeah.
Okay, but Bezrat Hashem, will see you tomorrow, Rabbi. Thank you very much.
Bezrat Hashem. Okay, very good. All
Bye
the
for now.
best.
Bye.
All the best, Roy.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye for now.